Welcome back. Why is this a thing? How we doing, y'all?
Was I supposed to be part of that intro? Like, you guys both tried to do it at the same time.
It gets very complicated over Skype. Doesn't often sync up. Rob back.
Yo!
2 cents.
I am so excited to be back, especially for this movie.
Oh, man. We got quite the show planned. I would say the last podcast the three of us did together was one of the most well-reviewed shows I've ever been a part of. So
wow.
we had to get it back together. This is after much request.
And I have ideas for the next movies, too.
Yeah, this is great. This may have to be a monthly thing every time Adam can't make it on the show.
Adam can't make it monthly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
you're very optimistic.
Yeah. Good point.
Am I Adam?
Are you the Adam of this podcast? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
You're the Adam if I'm Danny.
That's right. People love Nick and plays a Danny.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just do this. Let's just do it. Rob, you have the ball.
Oh, man.
I want you to tell us about Twister and why you selected it.
Here's why I selected it. It is the first motion picture released on DVD. I think that we have to go over that.
Wow.
Fun fact.
What?
Fun fact. Twister is the first motion picture to be released on DVD.
This is the one they decided to kick it off with.
Yep.
No wonder DVDs are no longer a thing.
This would be really representative of our new technology. Really show off all of its capabilities.
Twister.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, really, I looked that up today because I had heard that a while ago. I'm like, that can't be real life, but it is. The first movie to be released, the first major motion picture to be released on DVD.
Okay, but that's not really why you love it.
No.
Tell us what this movie means to you specifically. What's that?
I don't know. There will never be a sequel because we don't have Dusty.
That's true. We don't have Dusty. We could never do it again without that big character, by the way.
No, never.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about this movie. I loved it growing up, and it's garbage now. It does not hold up. It just doesn't hold up. Like, I had watched it when I was younger, and then maybe about 7 or 8 years ago, I watched it again, and I'm like, well, maybe not even that long ago. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this movie and how bad it is and how much I loved it as a kid. My grandma went out and bought a VCR because she wanted to see this movie.
Too bad it came out on DVD. She wasn't prepared.
Right? She couldn't afford a DVD player.
Get with the times, Grandma.
Grandma was kind of halfway a shut-in, so she couldn't really get out to go get her own stuff. So she called the local electronics store to bring her a VCR and a copy of Twister.
They complied?
Yeah, of course. We live in small-town America.
What magic corner of Nebraska do you live in?
I need a home media player and a copy of Twister. Stat!
You know, I was thinking about this earlier, Rob. I was thinking about how, like, if I wanted to make fun of someone for living in the middle of nowhere, I would be like, where in Nebraska are you? But it's just reality for you. It's not even a joke.
She got Twister, Black Beauty, and I think Charlotte's Web when she got her VCR.
Well, that's a collection.
So 90s.
They should sell that at Walmart.
I think Criterion should release that as part of their series.
I would love that 3-movie combo.
But she
destined for the dollar Walmart bin.
What order do you watch those in for the optimal experience?
No, I think she watched Twister, Black Beauty, Charlotte's Web in that order.
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
I think that's about right.
But she absolutely wanted to see this movie, and she's like, well, to heck with it. I'm going to get myself a VCR, and she did.
Well, I guess that makes sense, though, because this is a movie about the Midwest, and Nick and I are not originally from the Midwest, and I guess for you, the cultural appropriation here is real.
Have you guys ever been in a tornado warning? Like, have you ever
Every day. I don't know why you're laughing.
I mean, yeah, but I never took them seriously.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it's like, oh, weird, there's a tornado warning.
Yeah.
But like, no, not where it's like, get to the tornado basement. Here's a question.
Tornado basement.
They call them tornado cellars, storm cellars?
Storm cellars, yeah.
They're real things?
Oh, yeah.
You ever had one?
I did when I was growing up. I don't have one where I currently live.
Okay.
They've really fallen out of fashion. This is old.
Being prepared has fallen out of fashion. Or maybe
living during natural disasters have fallen. What does that mean? It's fallen out of fashion. It's either you need it or you don't.
Here's the thing about storm shelters.
Yeah.
Storm cellars.
They're an aesthetic choice.
Well, now everybody has a house with a basement. So you really don't need the storm cellar to go. Because when I was growing up, you had to like run outside and open the door that was, flat to the world. And then you ran down this flight of steps. But everybody used them to store their canned goods in over the winter and through the summer because the storm cellar would stay nice and cool and dry. So the canned goods would be in the storm cellar. And then if you had to go down there for a tornado, you could. But now everybody has a basement right on their house. So
I see.
They've fallen out of fashion.
I have a bathtub. That's where I would go.
That's where you're supposed to.
Is that right?
The most interior room in your house with no outside windows, usually a bathroom. And you're supposed to take a mattress and get in the bathtub and cover yourself with the mattress.
You're supposed to get in the bathtub and put a mattress on your head.
That's one of those things that feels like movie stuff, though.
Yeah, because I don't want to be flying around fucking Nebraska
on a bicycle.
It's also one of those
the
things
Wicked
where
Witch of the West.
If you have to choose between death and admitting that you went in a bathtub with your mattress, I just kill me.
Yeah, right?
Does the same thing work that I learned in Indiana Jones, where if you get in the fridge, you can survive a nuclear blast?
I don't think so.
Is that the okay? You didn't learn that from the same school of thought?
I just feel like you'll be cold in a nuclear blast. I don't think it's gonna do much for you.
I think I just want to die in a nuclear blast.
And you'll come out of there smelling like old American cheese.
They almost made the time machine in Back to the Future of a refrigerator, but they were afraid kids would climb into the refrigerators and get stuck and suffocate. So they made it a DeLorean.
I think they made the right choice.
Fun fact.
That fact wasn't fun at all. It was terrible.
A fridge time machine?
Yeah.
That's a real thing?
Yes.
Oh,
almost.
man. It does feel very Doc Brown, though. Feels like Doc Brown wouldn't own a DeLorean.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. So I want to sort of piggyback off of what you said about this being the first movie on DVD and a movie that your grandmother got really excited about. The reason that I love this movie, and I put love in all capital letters, is that it's sort of the untalked about, unremarked upon blockbuster. It's blockbuster that time forgot. People don't realize how massive this movie was when it came out.
In 96, this was the biggest movie of the summer.
Yeah, I believe it's this. I looked at the list.
I can't fathom that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was the movie.
What's the appeal?
What do you mean, what's the appeal?
It was supposed to be this special effects masterpiece.
Oh.
And the special effects, the sound effects. There were even notes given to theaters, like turn up the volume higher than normal to get the full effect of this movie.
Well, I can say this movie was very fucking loud.
Oh, my God.
And then it wasn't. And
right?
Then it was, and then it wasn't. I'm sitting here, my cat's trying to sleep, and I'm turning the volume up and down and up and down.
Keep your remotes close, folks.
Oh, God.
Here is the 1996 domestic box office. Number 5, Ransom with Mel Gibson. Number 4, Jerry Maguire. Number 3, Mission Impossible. Number 2, Twister. And number 1, Independence Day.
Yep.
Bad year.
Great year. What are you talking about?
Bad year. Mission Impossible is the best thing on that list.
I don't know what you mean, sir. How about 101 Dalmatians at number 6 with Glenn Close?
What a bad year.
How about The Rock at number 7, Sean Connery? Nick Cage.
I thought you meant Dwayne Johnson.
No. How about The Nutty Professor at number 8, Birdcage at 9? Great year, 1996.
Really bad year. I'm not saying that all of the movies on that list are bad, but I'm just saying, on average, significantly worse than most years, I think.
$92 million budget, $494.5 million at the box office.
Wow.
And I've got some more news for you.
Did this invent the cow flying in a hurricane? Or I need to ask that. Did this invent that?
That was the line. I remember seeing that line in the trailer, thinking that was the funniest thing in a movie ever. And I'm like, I have to see this movie.
I love not only when Paxton's girlfriend is like, is that a cow? But when Paxton goes, I actually think it's the same cow as before.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Oh, no.
Why do we...
Cow. I gotta go, Julia. We got cows. Another cow.
Actually, I think that was the same one.
I do have to say, living in the Midwest, this is pretty representative of my everyday life.
Yeah.
So, driving on the highway, cow. Oh, I think that's the same cow. Oh.
Julia, I gotta go. We got cows. What is she supposed to make of that? I'm sorry to hear that. Go attend to the cows. I got some more news for you, Nick. Did very well at the box office, did pretty well critically. 2-time Oscar nominee, this movie.
No.
Best
For
sound.
like sound design? Yeah, okay.
And
for like bullshit, stupid awards.
Best sound and best visual effects. Which
This is not, like you said, this is 96 though. They didn't have shit. I mean, was Toy Story even out yet?
Yeah, it's a year after Toy Story.
95.
Okay, yeah. So, with it,
I actually take umbrage with that though, because I don't think the special effects were all that good in this movie.
they're pretty terrible.
They're awful. The thing that I remember seeing even as a kid and seeing this in a few years afterwards is the tractors that fall around them as they're driving towards the end of the movie. You can tell are toy tractors because I had tons of those little tiny tractors, and the wheels would constantly fall off, and it looked exactly like that. You could tell which tractors were the toy tractors. Not great.
That's pretty cool. Some more little tidbits before we get into this movie. You know who directed this thing, my man?
I saw the name. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Jan de Bont, a favorite of this podcast. Jan de Bont's director of Speed 2, this movie, and also cinematographer of a movie called Roar.
Yes.
Which is a movie featuring Tippi Hedren and a bunch of actual tigers who maul the stars of the film in real life. You ever heard of Roar, Rob?
I haven't. No.
Oh, Roar is amazing.
Roar is something else.
Is that not the Katy Perry song?
No.
Oh.
I think it's what it's based off of.
Oh, okay.
No, it's an actual movie from 92. No, I'm sorry, 82, right? 1982. It was like buried for years. It never got released. But
Didn't it get released in the 2000s?
Yeah, I think so. It took them a very long time. And it's on the set of this movie, they just brought in a bunch of wild, untrained tigers and lions and had them on the set with famous actors. And a bunch of people like got their skin ripped off. And
Jesus.
They were it was like a crazy set.
Didn't Jan de Bont get seriously injured?
Yes.
Specifically?
I think he like lost his scalp or something, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he pretty much got scalped by a tiger.
Well, I was reading just today that, and this is on the Wikipedia page, that some of the crew members thought de Bont was out of control. He didn't know what he wanted till he saw it. He would shoot in one direction with all the equipment behind the view of the camera, and then he'd want to shoot the other direction right away, and you'd have to move everything, and he'd get angry if it took too long. People were quitting. Like, they were like, fuck this guy. We're out.
Sounds a lot like Roar. It really does.
Except replace the people with tigers and lions.
Right. de Bont knocked over a camera assistant in a fit of rage who missed a cue.
Yeah, so they all had to like walk out, and I guess they brought in a new crew after they were on strike for a week.
This is on Roar.
No, this is on Twister.
On Twister, yeah.
No, but my favorite thing about Twister is what he did to Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. So I guess they had, I read this on Wikipedia as well, the light, it was like a big LED light that they used to make the sky look all lightning-y and shit. And apparently that blinded Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt for like a week.
It sunburnt their retinas, I think.
Right. And so...
Oh my.
They had to wear like special sunglasses and have like eye drops and shit on set in order to be able to see.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, this was a thing.
And
And
I think
That explains a lot of the acting cues, and
yeah.
I just couldn't see what was going on. There was kind of.
I watched this movie again last night, and there are parts of the movie that are written really well, right? Okay, I like the argument in the pickup shortly after the first Twister. No, before the first Twister, where we
The
learn
first
about
of how many Twisters were there, Rob?
5.
There were more than 5. I'm sorry. There were 3 in one scene.
Okay. I'm saying
we got
okay.
sisters.
We got 6.
How many freaking tornadoes were in this movie in the span of a week? 3 days? 4 days? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's not that uncommon around here.
Listen, I live in the Midwest. I ain't never seen a dozen tornadoes.
You don't live in Tornado Alley.
I'm right on the border of Kentucky. We got sirens.
You have sirens?
Yeah.
Sirens go off when a tornado's coming?
First Wednesday every month at noon. There we have tests.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm sorry, can I wrap up one more story about Jan de Bont and Helen Hunt? So I guess Helen Hunt
Oh my god.
they were doing that set where she's in the car but the door is open and the vehicle's sort of speeding down the hill. And I guess, yeah, at the end of the movie, she, I guess, momentarily let go of the door and the door like hit her on the side of the head. So she got a concussion on set.
I always wondered how they filmed that because it would be hard to hold up a door as you're driving through a cornfield.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be damn near impossible.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, for me, never mind Helen Hunt.
Exactly.
So she got a concussion, and I love Jan. Jan de Bont goes, I love Helen to death, but you know, she can be a bit clumsy. Helen Hunt responds, clumsy? The guy burned my retinas, but I'm clumsy? I thought I was a good sport. I don't know ultimately if Jan chalks me up as that or not, but one would hope so.
Oh my God. They hated filming this movie. This had to suck.
I hated watching it.
Oh,
So
how dare you, sir?
The nicknames that they have for these people are
Sure.
terrible.
I think this movie should receive a what is it, like a demerit? Is that a
Yes, a
it's a
demerit.
negative point?
Yes.
Just for the underutilization of Philip Seymour Hoffman and Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Alan Ruck!
They
I'm glad you got him.
Underutilized,
Yep.
and they deserve negative points for that. That is a tragedy.
But those guys come up, or they had the douchiest lines, though, too.
Exactly. I'm not talking about their characters. I'm saying the actors. They underutilized those actors,
I see what you're saying.
and it's a shame.
Well, they didn't know how to utilize anything because some of the lines they had them say were
Say that again.
Jesus.
Alan Ruck had the great line about roll the maps. You don't want to crease in the maps. What does that even mean? Alan Ruck, by the way, Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, is phenomenal in Succession. He has turned into one of my favorite character actors of all time. He's
Really?
so good. So good.
Nick has something to say about that. He's shaking his head.
Rob, you don't know. No, I agree. You don't know this, but
Okay.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is my favorite movie of all time.
Really?
Yeah, I love that movie to death.
And
Love it to
Cameron
death.
might be the best part of Ferris Bueller. to be
Oh,
honest with you.
hands down, hands down.
I mean, that's kind of his movie.
Yeah,
Ferris Bueller is just like the
he's just the sociopath that sets things in motion.
yeah, he's like the Hannibal Lecter of
Yeah.
Ferris. You know what I mean?
Right.
Cameron
Right.
is the Dr.
And as
Starling.
much as like Hannibal Lecter is like the bad guy, you don't have Hannibal Lecter the show without Hannibal Lecter the guy, so
Right.
you didn't need him.
It's a fair point. So you say this movie was well written.
Listen, I'm sick. I don't know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I'm not saying.
Fuck off.
I am not saying that this movie was well written. I'm saying that. Oh shit! I lost you guys. Hold on. I'm saying that there were parts, like the interpersonal snippets of the movie, were written well. I thought.
The original concept and 10-page tornado chaser story were presented to Amblin Entertainment, Steven Spielberg's production company, by the way, in 1992 by screenwriter Jeffrey Hilton. Steven Spielberg then presented the concept to writer Michael Crichton, author of Jurassic Park and Westworld and all that good shit. Crichton and his wife, Anne Marie Martin, were paid reported $2.5 million to write the screenplay, so pretty good talent attached. However, the production was plagued with problems. Ready for this, Nick? This is going to blow your mind. Joss Whedon was brought on to do rewrites through the early spring of 1995. When he got bronchitis, Steven Zalian of Gangs of New York and Schindler's List and all that stuff was brought in. Whedon
What the hell? You're going to have so many different, like... It's not just too many cooks at this point. It's like... You got an Italian chef and like an Asian chef and a German chef, and you're telling them to make like a cake or something. It's what the fuck are you doing?
I see Kathleen Kennedy is also at the top of this list of being produced.
What the hell?
Yeah, Universal at the time. These are like huge names attached to this movie. Yeah. Whedon returned and worked on revisions right to the start of shooting in May 1995, then left the project after getting married. So bronchitis and marriage kept Joss Whedon away from the set of Twister.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I also don't think Joss Whedon. I love Joss Whedon. I don't think he's right for this project.
You can tell that this is just a melting pot of writers, though. Like,
sure,
it's band-aided together, the whole movie. But there are snippets
being held together by popsicle sticks and bubblegum for sure.
Yeah, Twisters. But there are snippets that are good. Like
I'll say this: the scene with Aunt Meg feels like it's from a different movie.
Oh yeah,
you know it's this very propulsive action movie about storm chasers, and then you get to this very slow, intimate part, and then you have the weird Jonas character played by Cary Elwes.
Jonas, son of a bitch!
Please play that clip.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Thank you. You know,
it's all from a different movie is my point.
It feels like there's several movies going on. You're right. Yeah. I would have rather have just watched like Tornado Chasers.
Right.
And that's it. And, you know, make the movie take place over the course of maybe months or years even of them and their biggest chases and their quest to, you know, get this thing in the air. The whole love story thing with his wife being like a sex therapist is really weird. It's just really weird.
Well, his fiance.
Yeah.
Weren't they married?
No, they were getting married.
Because they had to wait for Joe to sign the divorce papers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so...
Who, by the way, they engage in what might be the most congenial breakup I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She puts up no fight whatsoever.
No.
You're just happy with your storm chasing wife, so I'm just going to let you be. I'm out. What?
She knew pretty early on that she's like, yeah, I can't compete with this. I can't compete with that.
She didn't try.
No, she didn't.
I feel very bad for that character. I am pro the sex therapist in this movie.
I love Jamie Gertz, though, anyway.
Well,
she's wonderful.
One thing I noticed is this guy is not very desirable to begin with. There's nothing about him. Rob saw me tweet about this. I know he did.
Yeah, I did.
Right? This is just another Hollywood movie written by an undesirable man, starring an undesirable man, with just all the women fighting over him.
Yep.
And I'm just like...
Yeah, Bill Paxton's kind of a dickwad in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Right. There's nothing good about him.
I adore him in this movie like I adore him in every movie because Bill Paxton was just a god among men. But you're right. He's just like a loser weatherman who can't make up his mind about his love life with a short fuse. He kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Are you criticizing Bill Paxton's performance with that drop?
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Who is that, honey?
Jonas Miller, he's a night crawler. We all started out in the same lab, and Jonas went out and got himself some corporate sponsors. Money, science. He's got a lot of high-tech gadgets. He's got no instincts. And he doesn't have Dorothy.
If you're a guy that's in it for the money and not the science, I can think of some other fields to get into.
Science is not one of them.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe storm chasing isn't for you.
Also, I've seen Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Again, not a field I'd want to be involved in.
No.
Based on that film alone, that's the only experience I have.
Not one where you're thinking, oh yeah, the corporate sponsorships will be rolling in to my storm chasing business. Nike is the phone's ringing off the hook with offers from Nike and Adidas.
By the way, he said, oh, he doesn't have Dorothy. I'm sure, Rob, you've seen this 100 billion times. Nico, you've seen this probably quite a bit. The robot he built is named DOR3.
.3.
Oh, DOT3?
Yeah.
When you say that really fast, it kind of sounds like Dorothy.
It does, yeah. .3.
It's quite clever.
I'm wondering if they did that on purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Of course.
Incredibly stupid.
.3.
I hate everything about this movie.
You know what I love about Dorothy?
You know what
I love about Dorothy? That
What, the
Bill Paxton gets so excited that Helen Hunt and her team, her crack staff of individuals, have finally built this machine at the beginning of the movie.
Trash can with a lid.
Right. It's a trash can with a bunch of plastic balls in it. That's what they've invented. But at the beginning of the movie, she's like, hey, Bill, Dorothy's here. And he's so excited. Years of work and development. They finally craft this machine. And then it gets destroyed in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
And they're like, all right, Dorothy 2. They have 4 versions of Dorothy by the end of the movie.
Well,
How hard work was
she
this?
said right at the beginning, she goes, we made 4 of them.
Oh, I was just gonna. It's like it took them that long to develop. They just. It's a nonstop cycle of Dorothy machines.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. The trash can with some switches on it.
Yeah. What exactly was that invention?
You flick switch and the light comes on. It goes boop,
Yep.
boop, 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 boop. Gonna make your science invention, right?
Yep.
Make it all futuristic for the 90s.
Exactly.
You know, what I love about movies in general is any movie like pre-2000 when they tried to portray something futuristic, they did that like stupid, schlocky, boop, 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 you know?
Yep.
And now that the future is really here, it's just laying.
It is.
It's like, oh, I got a touch screen. Doesn't make a fucking sound. Just
The future.
like, where's my boop, boop, boop?
Oh, right. Then the 90s future always had the spinning red light.
Yeah. Apple really dropped the ball. I blame Steve Jobs. He really fucking dropped the ball.
New iPhones get announced tomorrow. Maybe we'll get the
Hopefully, they better have the boop, boop, boop and the spinny lights. And
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the technology that I always see in movies of the very blurry photograph that you can zoom in like 5,000 times and just hit the enhance button and you get a perfect image of the person.
you just want a photo. I want a photo that's only clear when zoomed in.
Right.
And it's exclusively blurry when zoomed out.
The further out you get. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'm waiting for that technology. One of these days we're going to get it. The enhance button. Still, surveillance footage is as bad as it's ever been. Could never make out the guy that stole the liquor store. All right, so let's get into this here.
I have a few more clips that we'll play throughout, but I want you guys to listen to when we first meet Dusty, and he calls Bill is his name Bill?
His name is Bill Harding.
Okay, his name is Bill in this movie. Bill Paxton's name is Bill. Anyway, he meets Bill for the first time. There is such an I didn't realize it till today when I was pulling clips. Listen for the uncomfortable laugh towards the end of this 20-second clip.
The extreme! It's the extreme! Oh, man, don't start that shit. Oh, man, we handshaking Suze. How you doing, man? I'm doing great, Oh, man.
Is that not the most uncomfortable? Like, there's some douche chilly moments in this movie, and that is almost at the top of my list right now.
One of the most uncomfortable Philip Seymour Hoffman characters, I would say. Maybe aside
He would
from
have been
any-
better. He would have been so much better as Jonas. He would have been so much better as Jonas.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's a good point. However, Cary Elwes, who plays the mayor in season 3 of Stranger Things, I think like he's got that cornered off.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's got the market cornered on like douchey corporate hacks.
Yeah.
In positions of power with his vans of corporate sponsors that follow him around. And I love they're all in a black van.
Oh, yes. Well, because it's supposed to be evil.
Of course.
Evil.
Such a great character.
Dude, he's going to rue the day. He's going to rue the day he came up against the extreme, baby.
Yeah.
Amen, man.
Bill, I'm talking imminent ruinage. Imminent ruinage.
I was just wondering, why do you call Billy the extreme?
Because Billy is the extreme.
Bill's the most out of control son of a bitch in the game.
No, I think I came in second.
I've seen the extreme in high gear.
You guys got to get some new stories. I'm gonna go clean up.
Why do you call Billy the extreme? Because Bill is the extreme.
I guess that's that.
What a waste of Dusty. What a waste. Oh, but he's so good in this movie, though. He's so off the chain in this. This was my favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman era. It was like this Big Lebowski, Boogie Nights, where it's like he's playing these weird little characters that smoke too much pot and, you know, maybe a closeted homosexual. It's my favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman character type.
Was he maybe a closeted homosexual?
In real life?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. But his characters definitely have that undertone to them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just getting that from Boogie Nights because he's very gay in that movie.
Well, and he played that priest too in that. What was that movie where
Doubt.
he was the Doubt? Yes.
Yes, Doubt is wonderful.
Doubt was incredible.
Yeah, he's great in that. Cut your fingernails. Cut those damn fingernails.
Creepy.
Yeah. I thought that dinner clip was going to be our favorite clip, Rob, that we reference quite a bit.
Well, there's the one where they talk about the F5 and they're like, has anybody seen an F5? And like spoons drop and just dialogue cuts off.
Please play that.
Too.
Please.
All right.
No, that was a good size twister. What was that, an F3?
Solid F2.
See, now you've lost me again.
It's the Fujita scale. It measures the intensity of a tornado by how much it eats.
Eats?
Destroys.
Guitar in the background.
Little encounter we had back there's a strong F2, F3 maybe.
Bet we see some F4s today.
That'd be sweet.
4 is good. 4 will relocate your house fairly efficiently.
Is there an F5?
Oh, spoons drop.
What would that be like?
Finger of God.
That's my favorite line of the whole movie. What would be that? Would be like, finger God.
It's one of my favorite record scratch moments in all of cinema. Because it is actually a pretty great screenwriting trope when the characters are talking about something and someone mentions a shocking detail. And for emphasis, everyone is so blown away by the premise of the question that they literally do a spit take. I feel like you would get that question a lot. Why is everyone so surprised?
So did I miss something when they say, has anybody seen an F5? And they go, only one of us.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So Joe, her dad was killed in an F5 in the.
Oh, that's what they mean?
Yep, that's what they mean. Yeah. Because he said just one of us and he looks upstairs to her.
Well, yeah, I assumed somebody died.
Yeah.
But I'm like, who died? They don't ever talk about it. Like, they don't tell us that the tornado at the beginning is an F5. By the way, let's talk about that entire plot line here.
Yeah, let's do.
You're telling me that Joe, the only reason she's chasing tornadoes is because one killed her dad when she was a kid and she's trying to get revenge? What is she trying to do?
She's trying to get her dad back just to see, like, be closer. Be closer to daddy.
She needs therapy.
Well, good thing she knows one. She knows
Yeah.
therapist.
Thank God. Thank the finger of God.
Thank God.
The implication of this, the way I read it every time I see it, is that Dr. Joe actually believes the Twisters are sentient beings.
And they follow.
Right, and that they're capable of targeting a specific house. That's what she says to Bill Paxton at the end of the movie.
Right. You've never seen it, miss this house and skip over that house and come directly for yours.
Right. So it's almost, when she says she's trying to understand the Twister, it's like she's trying to get into the brain of the Twister.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Which brings me to this point. So at the beginning of the movie, they introduce, so Bill Paxton, just for a little setup, is this weatherman. He's like into weather, and he used to be married, or I guess is separated.
Weather reports.
What?
Jonas. Oh, by the way, Bill, I really enjoy your weather reports. You son of a bitch! I ain't through with you yet.
What an insult.
So Bill Paxton. I love this. Bill Paxton used to be married to Helen Hunt. Helen Hunt and her goons are storm chasers, and they've invented this machine called Dorothy to launch a bunch of plastic balls like you get out of the little 25-cent machines at Stop and Shop, to launch a bunch of those plastic balls into outer space in order to get data.
Into outer space?
Well, like close to outer space. And to like get information.
They want them sucked up by the tornado, you fucking idiot.
Whatever, dude. Neither here nor there. To get data on the tornado, because according to Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt, no one understands how a tornado works.
Well, okay, in '96,
They're a mystery.
There was some truth to that.
Fuck off.
There was some truth to that.
No way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What was the breakthrough in tornado technology in the last 20 years?
It was this movie.
Absolutely. Dorothy.
Dorothy, you idiot.
I mean, she is right. At the beginning of the movie, she said something about like right now the warnings are like 3 minutes and we could get them up to 15. She's absolutely right. Back then, tornadoes could really pop up at any time without warning.
I watched this really boring, to most people at least, I thought it was interesting, but really boring documentary about like statistics and shit. And they spent like a whole like episode talking about weather and how computer technology has really like revolutionized the way that we see weather now in the past like 10 years.
We can track so many more data points.
Right, and now they have actual data points on like an XYZ axis, so they can actually, instead of just measuring weather patterns from satellites in like a 2D plane, they have the 3D plane, so that adds like a whole layer.
The same documentary.
Yeah, probably.
It's great.
What's it called?
Oh, you're absolutely. I think it was on Nova.
Yeah, on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Boom. That's the one. Yeah. So I believe it for 96.
Yeah.
I mean, back then they didn't know a lot of things, right?
No.
So are we saying that the physics of the twisters in this movie are scientifically accurate?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay. But there is truth to the idea that people don't understand how twisters work, and they can do that thing at the end of the movie where they just pop up and they destroy a bunch of shit, and then they go away and then they pop up in another location.
I think as unpredictable as weather is today, I think it was even more so unpredictable 20 years ago.
Yep.
That's all.
Got it.
That's all I would say. Now, that being said, all the tornado was bullshit. Every tornado in this film was bullshit. I don't care how strong a tornado is, it's not picking up a semi. Not like that.
Yeah, not like that. And picking up a semi and not picking up the pickup next to it.
That really bothered me in particular. It dropped the semi on them, picked it right back up again, and they didn't move.
Nope.
Yeah.
That in particular bothered me.
And the semi was, I think, filled with gasoline, correct?
Yes.
Well, that exploded on impact because, as we know, anything that is flammable always explodes.
The second you just tap it with a hammer, it just goes off.
That's why when people fall off buildings, they explode when they hit the bottom.
Right. Yeah, pretty great. I also want to know how Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton didn't get sucked up at the beginning of the movie when they were hiding underneath the bridge. And the tornado just went right on top of them.
That's probably possible. Like, you know,
on that one, Rob.
Do you really?
Rob.
I don't, because people have survived underneath bridges, have survived tornadoes underneath overpass.
Yeah, not rinky-dink wooden bridges. Okay. This is okay. To be clear, this was not like a cement, overpass or like a cement tunnel. This was I went in my backyard with some 2x4s and nailed a bridge together.
I mean, tornadoes. I actually have an expert. I have a recording of an expert that I talked to last night who said that that I'm serious.
He's not lying.
That tornadoes can do really strange things.
Oh my!
That's your defense right now.
Yeah,
it can survive under a rinky-dink.
Do you have a clip?
I do. You want to hear what the expert has to say?
Here's why.
I would.
Tornadoes can do very strange things.
Well,
great defense.
They can send a straw of hay through a fence post.
Play the damn clip.
Your Honor, I'm innocent. Sometimes tornadoes do very strange things.
Play the damn clip.
I've been teasing Nico with us all day.
Old cow flying all over the place.
This is no time for jokes, Boomhauer. This tornado's already classified at level 2 on the Fujisaki scale. A storm that strong will send an egg through a barn door. 2 barn doors if one of them's open.
What would a level 3 do, Mr. Gribble?
Level 3 will send an egg through a brick wall. Tornado chasers call it Humpty's Revenge.
I hate you. This motherfucker last night texted me. I've got a tornado expert. And
yeah, he's gone. There's nothing I love more than stereotypical Southern Americans saying
rednecks, Nick. You could call them rednecks.
There's nothing I love more than rednecks saying Asian words.
Humpty's Revenge. An egg through a brick wall. So
I love that. An egg through 2 barn doors if one of them's open. What kind of fucking...
Don't tell me that Dale Gribble is not an expert on tornadoes in the Fujisaki scale.
I'm not even an expert on anything.
Oh, Nico.
I hate you. I hate you. I feel like I've just been got.
Oh,
you were.
You've been got.
Oh, God.
I think we were, as soon as he said tornado expert, we should have known.
This dude lives in Nebraska.
Exactly. Who's there?
Everyone there's a tornado expert.
I would be shocked if Rob could count people he knows on 2 hands.
Oh. All right, you got a point.
You can't count family.
Oh.
Can I get one 90-year-old farmer with some hay in his mouth? Just one? That's like, yeah, I saw tornadoes 60 years ago.
Oh yeah, I could pull up something. I'm sure
That's who I need for you to get on the line.
Dale Gribble's just not doing it for you.
No.
I can't believe you, Rob. That was brilliant.
Oh, God.
I got to give points. I do want to give the movie some positive.
Yes, please.
Here. I have one positive thing to say about it.
How durable Dodge Ram pickups are.
Got a warranty on that?
Great sponsorship. I really thought they did a great job with the tornado ripping up the movie theater screen during The Shining, where he was breaking through the door with the axe.
Incredible moment. Incredible moment.
That was well done. Yeah. So they have this. They're in a drive-in movie theater. They have the scene of The Shining where he's breaking down the door with the axe, and just as that's happening, the tornado's coming through and ripping apart the wooden screen that they're watching the film on. And that's really brilliant.
That whole sequence of events felt out of place too in the movie.
Oh, well, the whole movie feels out of place.
That's true. But everything at the drive-in theater was odd. It just...
Yeah, I don't know if I was expected to believe that, this guy traveled out here with his fiance just so he could pick up the divorce papers.
Right.
And now he's like with his ex-wife and his fiance at a drive-in theater.
Yeah.
After a tornado.
And she's staying at the local motel right across the road.
Without him. While he's like out gallivanting with his ex-wife.
Right.
Yeah.
All of this.
And he just confesses his love to his ex over a walkie-talkie. Chekhov's walkie-talkie. Letting Jamie Gertz know it's time to get out of Dodge.
Yep.
He doesn't actually love you. He's still in love with his ex-wife. Yeah, no, I agree with you. The Shining is awesome. And I'll say this. No, I think
not what I said, though. In fairness.
Good point.
The Shining is awesome.
The Shining is an awesome movie, but the effect of the screen, the drive-in screen falling apart as Jack Nicholson was bursting through the bathroom door. It's just so clever. And I think in general, it's a pretty well-directed movie. I don't have a lot of complaints about the Crazy Jan de Bont here. I think obviously the story's really corny and the dialogue kind of sucks, and there are a lot of fun character actors doing their thing, but no performance is all that good. I'll say this, the direction is pretty top notch and it looks good and it's like pretty inventive from a visual point of view.
Sure.
Okay. You don't agree.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's the problem. It's just fine. You're telling me this was the top grossing movie of like the year or whatever. It was Oscar nominated for its visuals. It wasn't that good.
For 96 though, this was a breakthrough movie.
It's true. Like, maybe I have 2010's vision.
You do.
This,
and that's why this movie doesn't hold up at all.
It's very effects driven, yeah.
But for 96, this was mind blowing.
I would argue though that Spy Kids 3 3D had better special effects than this film. And that's, I mean, sure, that's a little later.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw that shit in the theater.
I saw that shit yesterday. Are you kidding me? That movie's incredible.
I saw that shit with my red and blue 3D glasses, mouth agape at George Lopez. I think he's in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the dad, I think, or the uncle or some shit.
Something
or
like that.
maybe he's the villain. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You know, I also think that's part of the reason we had this conversation a while about James Cameron. But I think that's part of the reason that Avatar doesn't hold up is because we saw Spy Kids 3 in 3D. And so we go see Avatar and we feel like fucking adults watching Spy Kids again.
Right.
You know?
It's made for children is your point. Twister's kind of made for children.
Twister's made for children. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I get that.
In a way.
I was, 12 years old when this movie came out?
They need more Game of Thrones graphic sex scenes. And decapitations.
Yep.
Yeah, I did kind of find myself because there's that one scene when they're at the drive-in and they're all hiding underground, and one of the dudes on the squad gets hit in the head by like a tire or like maybe like a hubcap or whatever.
Yep.
And I did find myself in that scene being like, oh, if they went all the way with this could be like a hard R disaster movie. Like people could be losing limbs and they're getting impaled and like.
I mean,
they were holding back.
They should have killed somebody there, really.
Did they kill anyone in the movie besides Jonas?
Well, and his driver.
Oh, poor Jonas's driver gets impaled.
And her father at the beginning.
Yeah, her father.
Yeah, the father at the beginning. But other than that, not really.
It didn't feel like there were there weren't any stakes.
No.
You know?
There wasn't.
Right.
Who's gonna get their machine in the air quicker?
Right.
That's stakes.
Which
now,
is
see that right there is also another direction they could have gone with this movie and just, you know, they could have just gone The Prestige with this film. You know what I mean? And just show me. Why not?
What do you mean?
Just show me these two inventors just going after each other, trying to be the first one to get their fucking shitty trash can in a tornado.
Yeah, but Jonas
and
is
just like
square plastic pieces to go up in the
Listen, what I'm saying is they could have focused on these two trying to one up each other and, you know, one beats one to the tornado, one beats the other to the tornado, sabotage. They could have gone that route with the movie and it would have been pretty interesting. They didn't.
Well, they did engage in a pretty cool high-speed chase scene. Where, like that, I just don't understand. Why are you driving people off the road to get to a tornado? It's like, you'll see it. It'll be there.
Yeah.
No, everything about the Jonas character just amazing, and I just love they're trying to warn him, don't get too close, and he's like, ignore them.
Yeah,
it's for the money, the corporate sponsors, and then just gets sucked up.
Too light. You gotta wait down. You gotta wait.
Is the lesson about greed here? If you're too greedy, you'll get sucked into a tornado.
Maybe.
I think so. Man, that last tornado though was pretty incredible. The F5.
Finger God.
The just giant black thing. Again, so unrealistic that they would have survived. Is the F5, I mean, I'm sure the F5 classification is real, but would an F5 ever look like that with a mile-long radius?
There have been tornadoes with mile-long or mile-wide tornadoes. Yes.
Oh my God, dude.
Yes, that is a real thing.
That's insane.
There was one here not here, but somewhere, I want to say down in Oklahoma or something, just last year its path of destruction was over a mile wide.
Is that why y'all keep your towns so far apart?
Pretty much.
So they have like roads to go on. They don't bother you. You don't bother them. They don't bother you, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Just don't look them in the eye.
Just keep your space.
Yes, officer. How are you, officer? Here's my license registration. Keep your hands on the wheel and just look forward. Gotcha.
Oh man, this is the fun part, sweetheart.
Dusty.
What
a great character. What else you got, Rob?
Those are all. I mean, we've played all my clips now.
That's all he wanted, was to play the clips and to bring in his tornado expert. He didn't have a plan outside of that.
No, of course I didn't have a plan. I was podcasting.
What did you think of? They were driving towards the big tornado, and just like tractors are dropping in front of them left and right, just specifically in front of them in the road, nowhere else. Boom,
the house.
It's like a video game suddenly. Yeah. And then a whole house falls in the road.
Yep. And they drive through it.
Oh, so good.
That part in particular made me think, like, if this fucking movie had a ride at Disney World and you were like driving up the stairs of a house that fell in front of you and shit, how cool. Like one of those like rides where it's like a screen and you're in the thing and it just moves around.
Right.
You know? How cool would that be? Well, they have wind blowing at you and shit and water.
I think, as we talked about, though, this movie should have been like a franchise. And I'm kind of surprised that there is no sequel and that they didn't try making it into an amusement park ride or something. Was there even a TV show?
It would have devolved into, you know exactly what it would have turned into.
What?
Sharknado. It did.
Yeah.
It did have a franchise. It's called Sharknado.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it made so much money. They finally made an Independence Day sequel. Are we due for a Twister reboot?
What?
A Twister reboot?
Yeah.
Bill Paxton's dead. Fucking Dusty's dead.
Yeah, that's true. Helen Hunt's still around.
Helen Hunt's.
You're going to bring her back? One more ride?
Twister, one more ride.
I want Helen Hunt, Alan Ruck, and Jamie Gertz.
Tom Holland. Give me Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yes. We need a young guy in there.
Okay, I'm in. Who says no? Helen Hunt and Jamie Gertz training the next generation of storm chasers with the help of Alan Ruck in the truck behind.
Rabbit is good. Rabbit is wise.
Rabbit. Oh, Rabbit's funny too.
Oh, that's just that line. It gives me the most douche chills. I think I have it too. We haven't played it. Rabbit is good. Rabbit is wise. Oh, it literally sends douche chills down my spine.
You also forgot to mention in that scene where they drive through the house and they're like, I think we're going in. It ends with one of my favorite moments of CGI, and that's the teddy bear hitting the windshield.
Which of course implies a young child was dead in that building, getting thrown around like you kicked a hamster wheel or something.
Dude, we need more Twister movies, dude. We need more movies of just random shit spinning around you in the air. We need it. They're too much fun. Too much fun. Also, you mentioned the children. Remember at the end of the movie where the family that's on the ranch where Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt are? Remember they get out of the storm basement and they're like, they look around and they're totally not bummed out at all.
They're used to it.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, yeah, our entire house, everything we own is destroyed, including our cattle. We'll be all right.
But it was very symbolic because the family looked like a mirror of her family, but the dad came out this time.
Oh, good point.
He's alive.
Good point. God. So powerful, so moving.
You know, I loved when they went into the barn to seek shelter, which is already a terrible idea. I mean, granted, they didn't have any good ideas because they were literally running from a tornado. I call bullshit. But they go inside this barn, and suddenly the movie became Children of the Corn. And they just have fucking, like, just every sort of blade you can imagine hanging from the roof as the tornado's coming. You have, like, sickles and daggers.
It's a horrific scene in that barn, isn't it?
Yeah, you have fucking, medieval great axes just hanging from the ceiling.
It's such great. It feels like something the Zucker brothers would do in Airplane, where it's like, how do we ratchet up the tension in this tornado movie? Let's put the characters in a room with a bunch of sharp objects.
And Bill goes, I don't think so.
Just absurd.
One of the tornado chasers at night is a door-to-door knife salesman.
Right.
He had his briefcase in the car because he had a long shift afterwards. So, whoops.
Oh, so good. Such great screenwriting.
Look at that. It didn't touch the house.
There is something about the 90s in particular with movies. With just convenient writing.
I am so happy to have lived through the 90s. Like, I am a kid of the 90s, and it warms my heart.
I wish I was there.
Oh, I do.
There really is. Like, all of these movies Rob likes in particular, too. It's just this convenient writing, that just convenient solutions. But I also got to give it to the 90s for the fact that they were pumping out so many original movies.
Right.
You know?
Well, I will tease this. Stay tuned to the end of this podcast. We'll announce our next 90s movie that we're watching.
Oh, boy. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Well, I think we're approaching the end anyway, so unless you guys have any last...
Do you want to skip the game? Do we have to get out of here?
Yeah, we got to get out of here tonight.
Okay, we're up against the clock tonight, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. But we made it work, and I'm glad we did.
I am too.
Rob, thank you so much.
Get here in about 15 minutes too.
Oh, great. Good.
Next movie, our next movie from the 90s with my boy, Elijah Wood.
Oh, no!
Oh, fuck.
Deep Impact.
Woo!
Man.
Armageddon 1.
Yes.
Armageddon before Armageddon. Deep Impact.
Deep Impact.
Can't wait.
Wow. All right.
Both have seen Armageddon, right?
Of course.
Oh, I haven't seen shit, Rob.
You haven't seen Armageddon?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Oh, boy. So terrible.
Deep Impact, though. Oof.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Let's do it. That'll be next time Adam Hall can't make it, which I'm sure will be very soon.
When are we doing a 2 cent?
Oh, yeah, we need to do one of those soon.
Yeah, I don't know, when I'm free, I guess.
Yeah.
When we're free. Yeah, we'll do it very soon.
Nico's the one in charge of setting up a next 2 cents because he can talk to both of us. Okay. You're in charge. Nico.
Okay, we'll do. I know the people have been asking for it. It's coming. Don't you worry. I got a lot of fantasy football things to catch up on, though, so, you know.
It sounds like you're it's not going so well.
No.
Quit while you're behind.
No. We soldier on, Nick. That's how I play fantasy football. I'm the Tom Brady of fantasy football. Minus all the winning. All right. Check us out. Website tmt.media or toomanythoughtsmedia.com. Rob, once again, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Next week, we'll be back with your regularly scheduled programming. And, of course, in a couple weeks, Deep Impact. And why is this a thing? Subscribe, rate, review on iTunes. You know the drill. And until next time.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Y'all been naughty.
Naughty.